It's what?
What? I have no idea. What's going on?
Brummie podcasts.
They just switched
Brummie band
on.
podcasts. So that means
That's what it says on the Brummie
Are you
podcast.
going to struggle with that?
What? Talk like a Brummie?
Be funny.
Well, I'm never funny anyway, so
Yeah, that's true.
I'll just be the serious one.
How's things, eh?
Good.
Good. What you been up to?
Well, I've just come back from Phoenix lunch at San Carlo.
Yeah.
Bloody awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can I tell you? It was sold out, and we've just announced a whole year. And everyone's like, where do we book? I'm like, well, it'll be month by month.
Yeah, you have transformed it, haven't you? Because I'll tell you a story. The first I got to know about the Phoenix was Brian Manley Green.
Oh, God, yes.
And he was absolutely wasted in Metro Bar. And I said, where have you been? He was absolutely steaming. And and he told me it was the Phoenix Club. I thought, oh, I'll put that on my radar. And
good old Brian.
It was just, maybe it still is to a degree, but it was just like where you go to let your hair down. And I think it's more than that now, isn't it? You've really turned it into, sampling the best of the cuisines in Birmingham and meeting good people and not getting too wasted and drunk,
Well, we've got...
Is that fair?
We've got 2 of the 3 done. So yeah,
It's just
Brian,
you that gets drunk.
Well, yeah. Well, Brian has been coming to the Phoenix for years. I think he was one of the very first people who used to start coming to Phoenix nearly 30 odd years ago. So with
I'm talking
years, a
long time ago.
I mean, unfortunately, Brian really doesn't get the chance to come out very often these days. But he was a part and parcel of the Birmingham networking scene. But yeah, the Phoenix has evolved. It has changed. It had to change. And I think one of the things that was good about it was it brought people from the city together. Yeah. But one of the things that I think was very wrong about it was that it wasn't diverse enough, and it had a really, well, I suppose the reputation became something of a sort of a, people snubbed it because it was a social, whereas now it's a real serious network club. It's you got new faces every single month. I mean, I've just come back now, as I said, from San Carlo, and the feedback I got was like, this is amazing. We're meeting people that we've never met before, and it's new opportunities. It's a new way of doing networking, but it's not your BNI. It's not your sort of your sit down and put your hand up and speak about your business for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or whatever. It's a real sort of an opportunity to get to know people on a more natural basis. But I'm glad it's changed because it had to change as well.
Yeah, for me, networking events, there's nothing worse than going to a networking event where it's full of the same people in the room from last time. And actually, it's nice to, keep in touch with people, but to keep going back to the same, surely at some point people...
Well, it becomes stale. There's no opportunity. And so what you're looking for in every room that you go to is new opportunities, new people, new faces, new relationships. And that's what Phoenix is all about. It's about creating new opportunities. Yeah. But look, don't get me wrong, meeting the same people over and over again is actually a good thing as well. It solidifies,
it's reconnecting,
cements relationships. And this is where the awards are fantastic because it brings the great and good of Birmingham together. I mean, there's great examples of fantastic awards, Birmingham Awards being one of them. The reason we're here today, actually. It's a great example of an awards that brings people together. And you might not see some of these people for months at an end, but then at the award season, week after week after week, you're like, oh my God, it's great to see you. Mm. And it's a great opportunity to just sort of, re-engage, reconnect. And it just brings that sort of civic pride, I agree.
How come 2 minutes in and you've not mentioned that you're Brummie of the Year?
to be honest with you, it's starting to sink in now. And being Brummie of the Year, it's just like, wow. You see, I'm still struggling with words, aren't I? Right? So
the thing is, you won it. I had to share mine. With PJ.
Well,
so I was only half Brummie of the Year.
Well, 2 great Brummies, obviously, right? So I have to sort of disagree with you on that. Two great Brummies, PJ and you, mate. Solid team. But yeah, I can't imagine how you guys felt that night when you got announced. But that evening, I was sat down at Staffordshire University's table, and I literally wasn't expecting anything. So I think before me, Joanna got announced as Female Brummie of the Year, which is fantastic, and she absolutely deserved that accolade because she's done some amazing work. And there's me just tucking into, I think I was maybe having a glass of wine or something, and just thought, okay, looking forward to the Business Person of the Year awards, right, which is the category I was up for. And then, they announced my name. I literally, like they were reading out the description, and I'm like, this guy sounds really familiar. Right, and I think I looked across to Matt Jones was sat next to me on the opposite table, and I go, no, and that's exactly my expression of like, and I had a tear roll down my eye. I remember, and honestly, I became so emotional then, and I don't know how the hell I composed myself, but I remember not being able to string together a sentence that sort of expressed my immense gratitude to these two amazing people who gave us this amazing award. I mean, the thing is, I'm talking to the person, right, that actually got it, way before me. And since then, some amazing people have had that award, awarded to them, given to them, and they've been celebrated. And to me, it's like it's a massive badge of honor. I think I said in the night, for everyone that sort of received it before me, I'm a massive fan. And to be able to have my name called amongst theirs, it's just a huge honor. Yeah, honestly, I'm still struggling with those words, aren't I?
Yeah. So obviously they paired us together, haven't they? So I suppose it's because we're two fairly boring, aren't we? Really?
Come on. Or maybe I am.
Come on. What's good about Birmingham? What's bad? Because I've been thinking a lot about this lately. Because we had some really bad news, haven't we, in the city over quite a few months. And I still love the place.
Love Birmingham. We both do. We're both proud Brummies, obviously. We've had some bad news. But you know what Birmingham's great at is just bouncing back. We're not great at shouting about ourselves. We're starting to. People like Birmingham Awards, there's a few other awards out there that actually shout massively about how great Birmingham is. And we've got some amazing personalities out there that do some great work.
Good point, that is, because I read some on social media the other night, people like knocking the awards, should we say the awards industry, and for too few people winning it, or and too many awards events. But actually, it's not just about the people, is it? It's also pushing the city of Birmingham, which I think quite often overlook that.
Yeah, I think we need to celebrate more, and for years and years and years, and I don't know whether I could pinpoint the year, but it's certainly in the early 2000s it wasn't that we weren't shouting loud enough about Birmingham. You talk about Manchester. Manchester's been shouting. They've got a great PR team, obviously, right?
100%. That's why I love Brummie exists.
Yes.
10 years ago we started talking about it. 2012 actually was the year we started talking about it, and I grew up. As you have in Birmingham, and you go on holiday, and people say, "Oh, what's it like to live in Birmingham?"
Yeah.
Now, actually, it's an awesome city, and I constantly was just really down about the way that fellow Brummies sort of, you go to Manchester, they beat the chest about how good their city is. You go to Liverpool, they beat it even harder, and Brummies go, it's.
We're near. We're not far from London,
and maybe that's represented by our football teams. I don't know, but Brummie should be proud of what this city is all about. And for me, it's the people, isn't it?
Absolutely. But the image of Birmingham is changing, has changed, and I think that's a lot to do with the people. I think it's I go back to civic pride. I think you mentioned 2012. I was talking to the guys earlier on about when do you think that we really sort of started thinking to ourselves that we need to take the conversation back. And it's not our local authorities that can do anything about it. It's not local government. It's not like this, it's not like London to come in and say, shout about Birmingham. It's us business people, us community leaders. It's our citizens that need to shout about it. And I think we've really started to beat our chest and say, we are amazing. And we really are. I mean, if you think about the amazing opportunities that we have in Birmingham, if you look at the construction that's happening across Birmingham, if you think about the awards that are celebrating every individual, and you know what, I believe this 100%, there's not enough awards out there to celebrate the individuals that we have, that we do need to bring out in front of everybody to say, these people are amazing.
Confidence is everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've gone back to the sort of shop floor the last few months, working hard on the business we bought. And I've been on sales, literally picking the phone up, talking to everybody. So apologies to anybody who's listening to this. I've been trying to sell to them. But you know what? No city comes anywhere near where Birmingham comes in terms of its people wanting to collaborate, people wanting to help. I promise you, Leicester, Liverpool, London, these cities that I do business in, they're not so quick to help as Birmingham is, and that's something really special.
I cannot agree with you more. You know, just the conversations around, like the Directors Club, which obviously we'll be announcing you as the chair. Well, I've already announced you as the chair, haven't I? But we'll touch about that in a second. But the Young Leaders Club, oh my Lord, I think I was talking about it last year amongst really close friends about what my vision is or what I want to do. But I realized real quick that I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own. It's not going to be something that is in silo. It has to be done in collaboration. It has to be done with the community. It has to be done with corporates. It cannot be done with government help. It has to be a collaboration, right? And the amazing thing that's happened since I announced it late last year and hitting the road running in January is the amount of amazing help and the messages, the meetings I've had just in 18, right? Yeah. The help is out there. I can tell you something, it makes me more proud to be a Brummie now than I've ever been before. And I've been a proud Brummie for 51 years. It makes me feel proud to walk through the streets of Birmingham as well, because knowing that there are individuals out there that are willing to put their neck out to support young adults out there from disadvantaged backgrounds. They don't have to do nothing. Yeah. They can go about their daily lives and do nothing ever again, but they want to do something to make a better environment for everyone, to make it equitable. Yeah. And that's bloody amazing.
There's one question I need to ask you. So you're out and about all the time. You're in lots of networking events. You're always helping others. You've obviously helped Love Brum as well with their website and for no money in exchange. How do you manage to run your business? Because it's a very successful one. So how do you manage it? Because I think leadership is like, I'm still learning. 53 now, but I'm still learning. And how do you do it? Because you're obviously leading a successful business and not even been there.
Yeah, I have. I have a time machine. I wish. No, I have some great examples. I've got great sort of friends like yourself, as great examples of how leadership should be. It's about having a vision, but the key to success, and this running a successful business yourself, is having an amazing team. They make me look freaking amazing. And if I'm honest, if it wasn't for their dedication, if it wasn't for their time, if it wasn't for what they do for our clients, I'd be a massive failure. It's because of the people that work alongside me. We are a massive success, which allows me to do some of the amazing things. And this as well. Like, when you set Love Brum with PJ, and you did it for the right reasons, but you did it because you have great people behind you, right? And this is the reason I'm able to do what I'm doing, because it frees me up from my daily grind. Don't get me wrong, I have to get involved in work. I mean, I still do the payroll myself. I still talk to clients. I still do project management as well. But I managed to be able to balance all of that because all of the day-to-day running and the client communications is done by an amazing team who are dedicated to looking after the clients.
Yeah. So fair dues.
Yeah.
Fair dues. So Birmingham, back to Birmingham. Where's Birmingham hurting, would you say? Because it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a bruising of the last 6 months, especially with what happened with the city council. And
there's a lot of people out there struggling, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, we put this down to the economics. At the end of the day, there's been bad choices made by government, by other sort of entities out there as well. And in the end, it's the people that suffer. But we're resilient, and I think we're going to come. 2024, I think, is going to be a change year for us, for all Brummies. I think there's going to be some amazing opportunities for us as well. We've just got to be positive, and I think Birmingham is about positivity. Especially again, if you look around Birmingham and look around just the construction, the positivity, the confidence about Birmingham as well. it's different to what it would have been 10 years ago. If you look at the last recession, if you look at the last, sort of, I think it was 2008 when we had the last crash or whatever as well, to now, even though we're going through a painful period, it's a different type of...
I tell you what, so just out that window there was a young lad stabbed on the weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, horrible.
Now, that can't be accepted in today's society, can it? No. And, what have we got to do as a community in order to stop things like that happening? Because it's dreadful, and for me, Birmingham will never make the next step until we sort these issues out. It's not just knife crime, there's gun crime, there's people carrying dangerous weapons, there's mental health, and all these things, people in poverty.
These are
the equality gap between the rich and the poor is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and it's crazy. This is not an easy problem to solve.
It's supposed to be a banter podcast, isn't it? We're getting a bit serious here.
Yeah, I know, but it's a serious conversation that has to be had. If we can have a bit of banter, but at the end of the day, this is a real serious issue, and you point out a real problem there. It doesn't have a straightforward solution to it. It's not exclusive to Birmingham. London has a bigger problem. Manchester has a problem. Any big city across the whole of the UK has this problem as well. But here's the solution. It's about civic pride. If you have civic pride, you are not going to just look after yourself. You're going to look after people around you. We have got to put our hand out to people who want to be helped. Yeah. And we've got to make sure.
And civic pride is infectious as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And we've got to.
If you're the first man that beats your chest and says it's great, the second, the third, and so on, and everyone starts doing it. But it is that movement, isn't it? That
we've got to make it infectious. We've got to get everybody involved. We've got to get everyone involved, guys. You guys can all make a difference to everybody. I'm telling you, we can make a difference, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. Our conversations, when we've talked on the phone as well. These incidents that happen, they're tragic, but they're avoidable. We've got to make sure that people see opportunity where there is opportunity at the end of the day, and we've got to show it in a way that it's accessible to all, not just the few.
One thing I want to do. 2024 as one of my goals is to create and have a knife amnesty in the city.
Yeah.
Get Birmingham City fans, get Aston Villa fans, West Bromwich Albion fans, get them all together, throw away the colours of the football shirts, and and take a large percentage of knives off our street. And I think if we could pull that off, that's every knife is a life, isn't it? Really, in my opinion, or potentially.
Yep, absolutely.
And we top the charts of people getting stabbed. We top the charts of people getting shot. This never used to happen in Birmingham.
No, and I think the economy has changed. I think the lack of opportunity has pushed people into certain scenarios as well.
Yeah.
There's any number of things that are happening right now that are causing these issues, and we've got to face them. We cannot brush them under the carpet any longer.
£130 I spent in Sainsbury's the other night on 3 small bags of food, man. £130.
Crazy.
There was no alcohol because I'm not drinking at the moment. It was literally just vegetables, so we can cook. We're trying to not eat processed food at the moment.
Right.
I don't know if you read much into processed food, but it does make a big difference. And some of the food that the supermarkets sell, all this ultra processed stuff, it's pretty yuck.
Yeah, and it's meant to be cheaper, but it's still expensive.
£130 for 3 bags of shopping.
Crazy.
Now, I bet you most of that's gone now in a week.
Yeah.
And that's just, people can't afford it.
Yeah, if you think about, the average family now, how do they survive?
Yeah.
How do they get through the week? And they've got to pay, forget the luxuries, they've got to pay for the necessities, they've got to pay for food, fuel. In a cold month, do you pay for food or do you pay for fuel? And there are families out there that are having to make those harsh choices. We're lucky. I'm lucky. I don't have to think about that. But, I do come from a background where we did have to think about it.
Yeah.
But it's so much more expensive now. I'd hate to go through it right now. As a family, it would be horrible. So we've got to think about how these opportunities come about. And we've got to change that sort of thinking as well.
So we talked about the Directors Club. Come on then. Where's the sales plug?
The sales plug. Well, listen, the Directors Club isn't just about, making it exclusive. We've talked about this. I mean, it's been an idea that I've, planted in your head a long time ago about why having a directors club within the Phoenix would be a good idea. It's about getting together the right kind of people within the city of Birmingham so that we can have conversations that can improve the lives of everybody. I mean, that is to talk to local government, talk to national government, to talk about what is important to Birmingham. So we do that in a way that gets powerful voices in the room. At the same time, though, it's not about those leaders in the city that can make a change, but it's also about how they affect the younger generation as well. And so, as I said to you before, every member that comes on board for the Directors Club will also feed into one young leader coming into the Young Leaders Club.
Give that young person
an opportunity.
But also inspiration as well to.
And we want to encourage mentorship. Mentoring is such an important part of growing an individual's career, life choices. It's a change maker. Imagine being able to make someone's life better because you've given them the great advice that they need.
Yeah.
And advice does not cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Just being able to say, look, do this and don't do that.
Yeah.
And then they can make their families.
I mean, it's really important for a business owner or a director. You've always got to be looking behind you and giving back.
Absolutely.
And quite often people can forget to do that. And
yeah.
Of course that is doing exactly that, isn't it?
Yeah. And we want to encourage, and Tim, you've been on board with this massively. We want to encourage more of the give back. We will always gain, by the way. If your success breeds success at the end of the day. So we want to encourage that. We want to make sure that we've got successful people on board for the Directors Club. But at the same time, we want to encourage them to give that back into the community as well. Yeah. That we need the next generation of leaders anyway.
Yeah,
we've got to create them.
I think the thing that particularly appeals to me is in addition to that is being a director can quite often be a lonely place.
Oh, God,
and especially if you're a business owner on your own and you've got nobody else to really talk to. We all share the same problems at the end of the day, whether it's people, processes, technology. We all share the same problems. And actually, for me, when you talk to a fellow business leader, you can get the problem solved for you just by talking. And
problem shared.
Yeah.
It's an old adage, isn't it? Right? Problem shared is a problem halved, and it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Half the time you overthink your problems, don't you? I mean, I certainly have done that.
Yeah.
And as soon as you put it out into the world, it's like, it's maybe not as difficult as I thought. But then at the same time, when you share it with somebody that's got knowledge and wisdom and
they didn't even have to be from the same industry.
Absolutely.
In fact, sometimes it's even better that they're not, because they give a completely different perspective.
Thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And you've taught me that, by the way, because I remember having spoken to you a few times. I won't talk about the problem itself, and you've given me a different perspective on how to solve that problem as well. And again, talking about the Directors Club, because we've not launched it we're not launching it until now, simply because we had an idea of what it's going to look like, and then we've consulted, we've talked, and we've molded it, and we've changed it, and we've evolved it, and now it's become what it's going to become, because we've discussed what we're trying to establish here as well, and that is purely through talking to someone who has the experience, has the knowledge. I mean, I've got my experience, and we've brought the two together, and we've brought other voices along as well with it, and then because we've consulted together, we've now got a better idea of what we want to achieve with the Directors Club and then the Young Leaders Club at the same time.
What's your favourite restaurant?
Oh, God, that is...
Apart from 18, because you're always new.
Well, no, 18 is a great members club, by the way. Favourite restaurant? Oh, there are too many to choose from. That is a difficult question to ask.
You got to give me five.
Oh, I can give you five.
Go on then.
Give you five. So, Simpsons, definitely. We've held a Phoenix there a couple of times. And if you're listening, Simpsons, we'd love to hold it again there as well. Simpsons is definitely one of my very favourite restaurants in Birmingham, and one of the very first Michelin star restaurants in Birmingham as well. Brilliant. And then Pernell's opened up recently. They opened up a tapas.
Yeah, I haven't been in yet.
It
looks good.
Fantastic.
I've heard good.
Fantastic. And I think we're going to be holding a ladies' Phoenix club there this year as well. I tell you what, the food is out of this world. Try the octopus. Fantastic. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, to be fair, so I apologise, but it is fantastic. It's on Barwick Street, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edmund Street.
It's called Small Plate, isn't it?
Small Plates. Yeah. That's it. Small Plates. Fantastic. Orel. wow, the food's fantastic, the service is great, and my God, the city views from Oral are amazing as well. So Oral, definitely.
No phone signal there.
The what, sorry?
No phone signal.
Well, you know what? Actually,
Is it better up there? Is it?
Do you want a phone signal? Enjoying the food and the ambient? No, actually, you know,
Do you know what? That's a good point.
it's a welcome break from
good
the
point.
everyday grind, right? So actually, maybe it's is it deliberate? I think maybe it's a deliberate thing, right? So no, Oral definitely one of my favorites. I would also say Fumo. I've just been to San Carlo, which is part of the same group, but Fumo.
Do they share the same kitchen?
I don't believe so.
Because they sort of come from the same direction, and I just wondered if they've got just one kitchen between the two.
Maybe we should ask for a kitchen tour. They maybe do. I don't know. But again, the restaurant is amazing, Fumo. But again, San Carlo went there today. The food, the service. I mean, they catered for 70 odd people there today. It was fantastic, honestly.
Right.
Like, cannot complain. But Fumo, 100%. And
Connie, you got to give me some curry houses.
I won't give you curry. That's such an obvious one. If you want to give you curry eyes, we're going to have to go into 10, right? But I'll tell you what, I'll give you a fifth one and I'll give you a surprise one at the end, okay?
Yeah.
So fifth one for me is Oyster Club. Oyster Club is one of my most favourite places in Birmingham. It is amazing. If you're a seafood lover, go to Oyster Club. It's amazing. The food's amazing.
I've had some long lunches in there with James Ackrell.
Is that right?
It's an amazing place, yeah.
But it's just amazing food. Service is great again. And it's a gem in the city. You know, it only opens for certain days of the week as well. Yeah. Mind you, half the time they close because they take these long, amazing holidays, which I think Adam Stokes.
I think they close because they know they're not going to get the custom. So it does need to be supported more.
No, absolutely. This is where hospitality does need support, but they close for certain days of the week. But I think what's great about Adam Stoke, who runs Adams, is that he looks after his team in such a way. Look, they do take these long, elongated holidays, but that's because he wants to give the team the time off, you know, to blow off steam as well and come back refreshed. But what a fantastic restaurant Oyster Club is as well. So you wanted to know my favourite curry house. Oh, this is a tough one. There's a few in Birmingham, and I have to say, in recent years, my opinion on this one restaurant I'm going to mention has changed massively. And I recently had my birthday there as well, and it's Ashes. The food and the hospitality is fantastic. And if you've not tried it, guys, definitely go there. I had the presidential platter.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, the lobster or the
lobster, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow. All I can say to you is it's one of those wow dishes, and it's brilliant. But you know the funny thing about Ashes,
didn't you have the chicken tikka masala that Tom Cruise had?
No,
It's nice though.
I'm not a chicken tikka masala fan. I like keema, which is like mixed.
Lee had two, so I had to have two.
Is that right? No. So I love my curries, obviously. The wonderful thing about Ashes is that they've got this variety of different types of dishes, but this presidential platter is something out of the ordinary. It's not something you'd find in any other restaurant in Birmingham, especially a curry house, I can tell you. So it is something quite spectacular.
It's one of the owners, Pavani, took me there.
Yeah.
And, I had to have the presidential platter. It was amazing.
God. It is awesome. It is awesome. So definitely try that one. So I have to put that question back to you now. What are your top 5 restaurants? So give me a sixth one as well.
To be fair, I'd say the same ones that you'd say. So I can't really.
We've got some amazing.
So I agreed with everyone that you said. I do love Adam's the chef's table downstairs. That is like just the theatre of it alone. It's just out of this world.
And that came up in conversation today at San Carlo, believe it or not. You know, and again, that's at another restaurant.
You know, there's only 8, I think, you can get on there, and it's in a horseshoe, and you watch obviously the kitchen,
theatrics,
the kitchen
theatrics,
and the different chefs come out and explain what you're eating and how it's been put together, and I love
the whole explanation of the love that goes into the food and the drama that goes into it as well.
And actually, what are you eating? Where does it come from? You know, I think that's like really important. So I think Adams for me is the number one. I do say Simpsons, but you know what? I've not been there for probably about 2 years, so it's unfair to even include that in my top 5.
Okay.
I very much like a roll. I think that's. I love a good old curry and shababs.
Shababs!
Maidiport Road.
Shababs.
Most people tell me that's not a proper curry house.
No, it's a proper. It's a Balti house.
I
That's a proper Balti house, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
Which with the becoming extinct in Birmingham, if I'm
well, the
honest.
first one that I ever went to, just down the road, it's called Salim's. It's not there now.
Yeah, I remember
They
going
never
to
used to give you knives and forks. It was literally just an bread to
use your hands, yeah.
eat your curry.
Do you know that is such a tragedy?
Yeah, what happened to it?
So I believe it or not, I used to go to Salim's regular as clockwork from a young 10-year-old, and the samosas, the shami kebabs, the shish kebabs, and the katlamas as well. Oh my God, my mouth is watering just thinking about it as well. And the tragedy is after 30, 40, maybe 50 years, I think, because their family came, and the two brothers, they closed the restaurant down, and it was, it was sad to see it go. Right, the food was just fantastic. You'd go in on a Saturday night. You got Salim's on the left-hand side, and you got Imran's on the right-hand side, and both restaurants, unfortunately, have disappeared. And they were the cornerstone of the Balti House triangle. Yeah. You know, in Borselith and Sparkbrook, and it's so sad to see them go. You still got some classics in in the Balti Triangle, but there's very few of them left now.
Yeah,
unfortunately. And we need to support, again. You know, we talked about supporting hospitality. We need to support that sort of industry as well, because if you don't go there, we'll lose it, and it'll just become a distant
Have you been
memory.
to that Nico's yet? Nico.
6 by Nico.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've heard so much about it. I know they've changed up the menu, so I'm going to be booking it up soon. So look out for me. I'm looking forward to trying it. I've heard mixed reviews, and I'm going to take my own opinion. I want to go there and experience it for myself. But great to have new restaurants in Birmingham, and we, anything that new comes into Birmingham, we absolutely should support it as well. There's some amazing entrepreneurs, from the hospitality industry that come in. They spend an amazing amount of money to invest in Birmingham as well. So we need to show them.
Carter's is coming here, isn't it? When's that start?
I believe.
Was it already?
No, in Feb. Yeah, so they're going to be here. I believe it's very temporary home for them here. They're going to be at 18 for about 3 months, and I believe the pre-bookings are already going. I think they may have already sold out February already. So. Yeah, we've got some amazing restaurants coming into the city of Birmingham, and we should absolutely support them. The wonderful thing about Birmingham is we've got choice now. One of the restaurants that is a massive favourite in Birmingham is Fazenda.
Yeah.
And I know.
Must admit, I've had a few good meals in there.
It's amazing, but Birmingham, we were going to lose Fazenda. In lockdown, right? And bless, one of the founders, Thomas. I think the feedback he had from all the fans, and this is from Birmingham, by the way, and it is, again, we talk about civic pride. There's that many people who loved going to Fazenda, that the amount of noise that was made about keeping it in Birmingham, he made it happen, and it stayed here. And long may they continue to be part of Birmingham's food scene. But what an amazing restaurant! What an amazing founder as well. But we wouldn't have this if we didn't have founders who invest their time, their money, and the effort. And I can't imagine how difficult it is in the hospitality industry. It is a thankless job sometimes, but we're lucky though in Birmingham.
Yeah, I agree.
Good old
Balti Bazaar in Sturchley.
Oh, which one?
Balti Bazaar. It's
I know
opposite the co-op.
Yeah, I know.
Near the roundabout.
Is, yeah.
It's been there. Some of my kids were in the carry cop, so they've been there 30 odd years. They've only changed the carpet once.
I hope they got the carpet cleaner.
They have. But it is. I mean, their curries have never changed throughout that time either. I love it.
I think I think we've been lucky to have the curry revolution in Birmingham, the Balti revolution that came to Birmingham. I know there's a lot of pretenders to the throne like Manchester and Bradford and what have you, but Balti was created in Birmingham, by the way, guys. So we should be proud about that. And I believe a few years back there was a Balti guide as well. But again, I said this before, we need to get behind hospitality. If we want to enjoy, we want to keep it, we've got to support hospitality as well. So whether you like Italian, whether you like Chinese, whether you like Indian, whether you like fine dining, whatever your preference is, we've got to go out and support it.
You said earlier about choice.
Yeah.
We've got so much choice here in Birmingham, and if we don't support it,
we're going to lose it.
Back to where we used to be.
The dark ages.
Yeah. Where there was Mr. Egg.
Mr. Egg was not dark age. Mr. Egg was it's a
Well,
it's an institution, isn't it?
It is an institution, but there was not a lot else around, and
Yeah, true.
we yes, it'd be great for Mr. Egg to still be there, but we don't want to go back to that time where there was not a lot out there.
No. We've got some great restaurants. Again, Chung Ying is another great example has been there for decades now. We've got some really
Lulu
good
Wild's
choices.
good. That's another one.
Lulu Wild's.
I like that.
So again, this is a great example. Lulu Wild's brand new to the scene. Great food, but they're doing it differently. Again, we held a Phoenix there last year, and the food and the service is amazing. So yeah, it's all good.
The message is keep supporting them.
Keep supporting hospitality. Keep going.
Yeah.
And hopefully Birmingham's food scene is going to get bigger, better, and brighter. And hopefully that also means that we're going to get more people coming into Birmingham. Tourism grows because of it as well. It helps everybody.
100%.
It's good to see you guys.
See you later.